Hello guys, today is day 12, September 13th of the daily quiz. So almost halfway, but we'll keep it going till October 1 or October 2 when we complete 30 days. So today's MCQs are based on May month current affair, May 2020, and this is also a part of the Pack 11. Okay, this is the last test of Pack 11. So we have started from 2019 June. I was showing 10 MCQs. So if you are my student, please see to it that you not only read this or solve this 10 questions, go back and do the 90 questions also at home. Okay, others, if you want to enroll and get the PDF, you can come and enroll. And like this, every subject, we cannot do every subject because totally it is 63 tests, but we are doing only 30-day quiz. So 30 tests will be shown to you, and 300 MCQs we will show by the end of the series. But my students can study 6,300 MCQs. So 30-day strategy, everything is shown multiple times. Again, watch it if you want, and please answer it in the live chat session and keep track of your score. 8, 9, 10 is excellent, 6, 7 is good, 3, 4, 5 is revise more, and 1, 2 means you have to change your source or improve your study pattern. So first question for today: International Non-Proprietary Name (INN) seen in news recently is related to UNESCO, Interpol, FATF, or WHO. So it is WHO, United States, the Food and Drug Regulatory Body, recently allowed emergency use of antiviral investigational vaccine to treat COVID-19 patients. So that is the news, and in that this medicine, okay, this remdesivir, which is mentioned here, it is an international non-proprietary name. The INN is provided to pharmaceutical drug or active ingredient. The INN is used in Latin, English, Russian, French, Spanish, Chinese, and Arabic. The INN system has been coordinated by the World Health Organization since 1953. An established INN is known as a recommended INN, while a name that is still being considered is called a proposed INN. Okay, so this UPSC can ask like that also. RINN and PINN was in news related to what? So it is like a tag given to this active ingredient component medicine, and it is given since 1953 by WHO. So WHO had launched 4 mega trials to treat COVID-19. So it includes all these things: remdesivir, HCQ, which even India was exporting too much to other countries. Then a combination of these two things. Okay, so these are all related to this particular disease. Now it is being used. It was there for some other purpose, but now for COVID it is being found effective. So that is why it is used. Global Network Against Food Crisis seen in news is an initiative of which combination? WWF IUCN Traffic, WHO FAO India, European Union FAO World Food Program, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Gavi, and FAO. So UPSC has been asking this kind of things whenever 2-3 bodies come together, whenever 2-3 personalities come together in history and all, they ask it. Okay, so please see to that this kind of questions are given more focus. So this is this is launched by European Union, World Food Program, and FAO. UNICEF is also its member. So they will frame questions from here only. Then it works towards achieving zero hunger goal. Hunger goal is one of the Sustainable Development Agenda also. And Global Report on Food Crisis 2020 was released by this Global Network Against Food Crisis. Okay, so there's a report also you have to study. And these are statistics like where more are there dying for malnutrition, all these things. UPSC already asked about Yemen, the country which is facing this starvation and food crisis. And again, more 10 countries are there where problems are there. So since it's a UPSC topic, it becomes important for you. Okay, and students can also go to this link and read. VE Day and VJ Day seen in news is related to astrophysics, Quit India Movement, World War II, Internet of Things. So it's World War II. In mains, a question is expected this year because 75th year, okay, 1945, it happened, and so 75th year, and there is a high chance that World War II mains question will come. Each year during May 8, 9, the United Nations marks the time of remembrance and reconciliation for those who lost their lives during Second World War. This is being marked as a historic event, paved way for the establishment of United Nations. Because earlier it was League of Nations. After World War II, they made United Nations. The day was declared in 2004 to commemorate this thing. Okay, and UN urges NGOs, member countries, everybody to join. And then VE Day is called the Victory in Europe Day. The day is widely marked in Europe on May 8th. This year, 75th anniversary is being commemorated. The day signifies end of combat in all these places: Greece, Germany. Go and find the map, okay, where these things are located. Then the date, however, it is not official end of Second World War. This is because Japan did not surrender till August 15th. Okay, you know, August 6th and August 9th, Hiroshima and Nagasaki atom bomb thing was there, and that after that only they did this. Okay, they declared surrender. So date is easy for you to remember, August 15th. Then the day Japan surrendered is marked as Victory in the Pacific Day. This day is called the Victory over Japan, or VJ Day. So that is why VE Day and VJ Day. Which of the following are true about carbon form batteries? They have better life cycle as compared to lead acid battery. The raw materials to make the carbon form is very easily available. The world's first carbon form manufacturing unit was set up in India. So all the three are true. Science questions, I told you, 99% when it comes, it will be true always. They will not complicate it because they know that you are not going to study all these things. Okay. So CSIR has developed light carbon form that will replace lead batteries. It is easy to fabricate, non-toxic and affordable. Okay, these are all characteristics of it. Then the researcher is recipient of Inspire Faculty Award. It is also useful to make heat sink, electromagnetic interference, shielding in aerospace, electrode for lead acid batteries, hydrogen storage and water purification system. So applications, again UPSC will ask this. Okay, yeah, application of carbon form batteries. Then the raw materials to make it is easily available. So second statement is true. It helps to remove oil, arsenic and other metals from contaminated water. Okay, it helps to remove. Okay, but if they put like it helps to remove completely or like drastically, that kind of things will be false. Okay, and carbon forms are porous. The pores in the batteries help increase efficiency. Micro cells completely make a new type of electrolyte structure. The power, energy and life cycle of the battery increases. Okay, your statement 1 is also true. If you see better life cycle, then they are built 3/5 the cost of other advanced batteries. Okay, so it is cheaper. The world's first carbon form manufacturing unit was set up in Gujarat in 2011. So statement 3 is also true. 20% of the produce in the industries are being exported and the rest are being used for electric vehicles. Okay, so news was there. Bhopal develops lightweight carbon form and it can replace lead batteries. Okay, that is why. Hanko tradition seen in news is related to Mongolia, Japan, Thailand, Indonesia. So it's Japan. This is gaining criticism in Japan post COVID-19 period. Japan is adopting work from home culture aggressively in response to COVID-19. However, the age-old Hanko tradition of Japan is forcing the employees to go to the offices. Okay, it's some personal stamp of Japan, okay, Hanko, and it is equivalent to signature in other countries. It is essential in Japan for several transactions. There are specific types of Hanko stamping such as circular and square. They are mandatory in bank document, government authorization, and even in several day-to-day activities. Stamp is set wet by ink pad called shuniku or something. The mark that leaves on the document is called inkan. The use of Hanko is a 2 million old tradition that used to identify individuals that are involved in government agency. So there is a physical stamp which is being put on these things, but because of COVID-19, everybody is sitting at home and this is mandatory. People cannot sit at home. They have to go to offices for this purpose. So that is why it is being criticized. Okay. So this Baiwen is also a Japanese seal. It has red background and white characters. So UPSC will not ask details, but like a story I told you, and they will ask these things only like Hanko or this Shuniku, Inkan, Baiwen was in news related to what? Okay, so it's the country plus the sign seal. That fact you have to know. It's an Indian Express article. Which of the following are true about International Pollinator Initiative? India is not part of this initiative. It was launched under the Convention on Migratory Species, CMS. Both are false. May 20 is being celebrated as World Bee Day by the United Nations since 2018, so it's a new thing. It is celebrated to commemorate the birthday of some Slovenian apiculture. Apiculture is honeybee culture pioneer. Okay, one person. Theme 2020 is Save the Bees. The day is being celebrated to raise awareness about the importance of pollinators, hummingbirds, butterflies, bats. India is also part of the initiative, so statement 1 is false. Bees are greatest pollinators. They are under great threat currently due to habitat loss, parasites, disease, and agriculture pesticides. According to United Nations, around 35% of world agriculture still depends on pollinators. Conventional biological diversity. Okay, CBD is the answer here, though statement 2 is also wrong. In 2000, this initiative was launched by COP, Conference of Parties 5. It was launched under the Convention of Biological Diversity. You have to know more about this. Okay, UPSC I've already asked, but still. Related to this, there are many other things also, Nagoya Protocol and all, which you should study. Then the initiative is run till 2030. India is also part of the initiative. Convention on Biological Diversity is a multilateral treaty. It was opened at the Earth Summit that was held in 1992. Okay, 1992 Rio Summit is very important because UPSC is asking questions now back to back in last 3 years. And also, there are many outcomes of it. Okay, this CBD is one outcome. Then UNFCCC is another outcome. Then UNCCD, the Desert Convention, that is also outcome of this. Okay, so there are many reasons this is important, and they have 2 more sessions in 2002 and 2012. 2 more sessions happened. Next May 2022 again one session will happen. So that is why it is very, very important. Red Army is related to which success model in India for fighting COVID situation? So GK kind of question, but sometimes UPSC can ask. So it's Northeast. Northeast model of COVID-19 has been a huge success. The model in effect has helped declare five states in the region COVID-19 free. Okay, this was a May month current affair. So maybe after that again, those states have got infected. Maybe we don't know, but you can follow that in the recent current affairs. But May month, this was the status. Okay, Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Sikkim, Nagaland, everything is COVID free. And Tripura has increased number of COVID cases, especially among CAPF people. Then Assam, being the biggest state in the region, has contained the disease in local clusters. Medicine and equipment was delivered through air cargo and air force. No testing facilities in Sikkim and Nagaland, while Assam has only 2 testing facilities. Then this TrueNat testing facility began in Sikkim. TrueNat is a machine used to test tuberculosis. It was approved by ICMR to test COVID-19 in April. Red Army was formed in the Northeast. The army consists of wise old men and women that help villages and have a great respect among the villages. They were called this Gao Buddhas or something, male village elders, and Gao Budis, village female elders. Lifeline Udan scheme was launched to provide essential commodities and medical cargo. The scheme supplied personal protective equipment, that is PPE, gloves, and mask. Okay. The UNEP campaign, Not All Animals Migrate by Choice, was launched in India by which body? WWF, WCCB, National Board of Wildlife, NTCA. So it is by Wildlife Crime Control Bureau, which was in news in 2016-17 for various reasons, and UPSC already asked a detailed question. And all these bodies you have to study. I've already given a revision chart to my students comparing these bodies, who is the chairman, what is the purpose, which ministry it is and all. So UNEP campaign it is, this not all campaigns, not all animals migrate by choice. So this is a statutory body established by Government of India under the Ministry of Environment to combat organized wildlife crime. Then this provisions come, okay, this is the act where provisions came into effect in 2006, operational since 2008. It won the prestigious 2010 award, okay, for its outstanding work on enforcement, wildlife enforcement. UNEP has also awarded this thing with Asia Environment Enforcement Award, okay, and it is partnering with United Nations University, UNU, let's try to find out more about this, and this Earth Institute at Columbia University through the Wildlife Enforcement Monitoring System Initiative, okay. So like this, it's doing things for India and known across the globe and getting a lot of awards. So it's important. Okay, not all animals migrate by choice is a UNEP campaign launched in India by WCCB. Which of the following are true about National Payment Corporation of India, NPCI? It is a not-for-profit body registered as a society under Society Registration Act 1860. Aadhaar enabled payment system is one of the biggest success of NPCI. It's two only. NPCI was founded in 2008. It is a umbrella organization for operating retail payment and settlement in India. It is a not-for-profit organization registered under Section 8 of the Companies Act 2013. Okay. So one trick for this is easy. Like whenever it comes the word corporation, it will be registered under Companies Act 99% of the time. Okay. So that way itself we will know it's not a society, it's a company. And the Section 8 means this only, not for profit. And then it is established by RBI and Indian Banks Association. So that also UPSC can ask. Then it is owned by a consortium of major banks and has been promoted by the country's central bank, the Reserve Bank of India. Presently, there are 10 core promoter banks. Okay, almost all the famous banks will be here. Then this AEPS is one of the biggest success of NPCI. And almost everything which you know, the famous things are built by NPCI only. Okay, this UPI, BHIM, or anything of that sort which you see now, it's all built by NPCI. In July 2019, the number of AEPS transactions crossed 200 million. Few other services provided by NPCI are these things: Bharat Bill Payment System, Bharat QR, BHIM, IMPS, National Common Mobility Card, FASTag, RuPay, UPI, check truncation system. All these are NPCI. Okay, so it is set up by RBI and Indian Bank Association, and these are the promoter banks. And it's there in 2008, and it's a not-for-profit company. Okay, and news was there. It has launched artificial intelligence-based chat bot called Pi, and it aims to increase financial inclusion in India. It can be accessed 24/7. It provides information about NPCI products. Which of the following are true about Financial Stability and Development Council? It was set up in 1992, and after the LPG reforms of 1991, it is chaired by the RBI governor. So both are false. This idea was actually mooted in 2008 by Raghuram Rajan Committee. The council was set up in 2010 by the Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee. Finance Minister chairs the meeting. So both 1 and 2 are false. Then the council composed of Governor of RBI, Chief Economic Advisor, Secretaries and Chairman of SEBI, IRDA. Okay, these are all regulatory bodies. So the secretaries and chairman of all these bodies are involved in that. Okay, including Governor of RBI, but the Finance Minister is chairing the meeting. And where is it? The council deals with issues such as financial sector development, financial stability, interregulatory coordination, financial inclusion, financial literacy. Apart from these, the council also coordinates with India's international interfaces such as Financial Action Task Force. The finance minister has powers to change the functions of council from time to time. Okay, finance minister has that power. Now, this finance minister chaired this thing, that is why the news, and the meeting reviewed most of these things and noted that COVID-19 posed a great threat to the global financial system and the time of recovery is uncertain. So that is why 22nd meeting happened. So it was in news. So I have discussed today's 10 questions, but please see to it that you do much more than this. Okay, please don't be like only 10 MCQs you are revising by watching this video and rest of the day you are simply wasting your time. More MCQs you practice of UPSC standard, the more there is a chance that you will clear prelims. And we want you to clear prelims and come and tell, because we feel very happy when we can claim a lot of students every year. Okay, so WhatsApp me if you need any of the tests to practice, and if you need 3 free tests to see how it looks like and how much time you take to solve ICIS test. Based on that, you can decide for longer enrollment. You can simply email 3 free, okay, vaishupsc@gmail.com, and I will give you 3 free tests to start with. So thank you. I'll come with the next video soon. Enjoy your learning.